Nice one for clicking on this video. Did you know, as a club legend, you can get 20% off all Redmen merch? Just go to redmenplus.com, sign up as a club legend, and there you go, 20% off all Redmen merch. Up the Reds. Let's get into your show.
Hello everybody, my name's Steve Plunk and I'm here to do the player ratings show. So Liverpool travelled away to the Ajax arena and won 3-0 to qualify and get through to the knockout stages of the Champions League this evening. Really, honestly and truthfully, we could be doing this twice. One for the first half and one for the second half, because it really was a game of two halves. But what we'll try and do is we'll try and be honest. I'll be honest and I'll try and give you what I genuinely believe are the player ratings. Just before we kick off, we've got the usual man of the match poll, and today's nominations are Robertson, Elliott and Henderson. So throughout the player ratings, please get your votes in. Without further ado, we'll start with Alisson, our keeper, playing his 200th appearance in Liverpool colours this evening. 2.5 minutes into the game, his defence leave him wide open and the Ajax player's shot comes back off the post. If that had gone in, we wouldn't really be able to criticise him because they tore us apart and they got an opportunity and it just didn't hit the target. So he got away with that one to some degree. For the rest of the game, I thought what he did was solid. The shots he did have to take, although some of them are right at him, he did it with safety, with assurance. There were no spillages. And I'm going to give Alisson a 7 out of 10. So I'd like to hear what you think, and if we're going to review that at the end of the game, we just might do. But 7 out of 10 for our Brazilian goalkeeper for me. Another very solid performance. We looked at it during the game. How many wins did we think he'd had in 200 appearances? It looks like it was 118. I said 106, and my co-host on the night, Chris Pajak, said, I think he said 140. Might have even said more than that, but he is a glass half full man. All the time. So going on to the rest of the team, we'll have a look at Trent Alexander-Arnold, restored back into the side at right back. Obviously been much maligned in recent weeks regards to his form. Another one that suffered in the first half, and as I said when I started the show, if I was doing this for two halves, Trent's number would be like a 3 or a 4 because we did not defend well to start with. But as the game wore on and we were assisted by the goal towards the end of the first half, I thought Trent came much more into the game. I'm not going to be giving out massive numbers for that performance today. I think Trent was steady in the second half. He showed plenty of times for the ball, played some good passes without being his absolute brilliant best. So I'm going to give Trent a 6 based on a much improved second half performance. On to Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez is a guy that we've all been speaking about since the Nottingham Forest game, at fault for the goal and some of his distribution wasn't great. We felt and I felt he started the game poorly again tonight with some questionable defensive decisions. But again, another one who grew into the game as the game wore on. I'd be interested to know what you think about Joe Gomez's performance. Is he in the reckoning for a World Cup spot? Should Gareth Southgate put him on the plane to Qatar? You tell me. I think Joe Gomez had a better game tonight. I don't think it was brilliant. I'm going to give Joe Gomez a 5.5. Okay, on to his central defensive partner, the ever-impressive Virgil van Dijk. There's a 6.5 for Joe there, there's a 7, there's another 6, there's a 5 just before we move on to Alisson. There's a 7 for Trent, stepped up in the second half. I'm looking at it thinking, you've got to remember the first 42 minutes before we scored. I thought we were all off the pace, including Trent. So 6 for Trent and 5.5 for Joe for me. Darth Sidious said Joe has had a decent first half, 6.5. Sam Chapper says 6.5 for Joe for me. I might review that at the end based on what you guys tell me, but I think he's had better games of football, and I think certainly in the first 20 minutes or so he was culpable, especially for the chance where they hit the post. So Virgil van Dijk, back to Virgil. So for the scores you've given for Virgil, there's a couple of 6.5s in there for Virgil. There's a 7. I thought Virgil was steady without being magnificent tonight. Offered a little bit of a threat in the opposition's half. Came and won a few colossal headers in the second half. I thought he was the pick of our central defenders tonight. I think he had a decent game, and I'm going to give Virgil a 7 out of 10. Okay, so on to Andy Robbo, who has made our man of the match vote this evening, and I'll be interested to see what you guys think about Andy Robbo. I think when Henderson made the switch and really made an effort to go down that left-hand side, I thought that brought Andy Robbo into the game. Another player that benefited massively in the second half. Another player that, you know, in the first half, I don't think defensively we were at the races, and I would include Andy Robbo in that. I think he had a much better second half, and he was quite pivotal in going forward and creating opportunities. Much more like the Andy Robbo we've come to love. Let's have a look what you guys have given him. Mo Salah says an 8. Jolea family says an 8. Bert Sister Wonder says an 8. Robbo put himself about 7.5. Darth Sidious went with an 8. Ben Moore says Robbo always a pest, an 8. And someone else has gone for an 8.5. So I'm in the ballpark, guys, and I'm going to give Robbo a 7.5 tonight. Okay, so on to our midfielders, and we'll start with the skipper, who I thought was a much better, much more improved performance again in the second half, and that's going to be a theme of what I speak about this evening. I thought the first half for all of them really was a half we could forget, barring the last 2 minutes. I thought Henderson really came into his own in the second half. The assist for Salah's goal was absolutely ridiculous. And outside of the foot right boot, which he's done a couple of times, and we often reference Steven Gerrard's assist against Fulham with the outside of his right boot. Well, that's a couple of times Hendo's done that now. So I thought he was really much better performance in the second half. And I'm going to give Hendo a 7.5 also. Let's see what you guys say before I put the score up. Henderson gets an 8 from Jolea family. Bert Sister says 7. William Lillycrap says 8. Outstanding ball by Hendo, only put in 100%, has to be an 8. Hendo, what a ball for Salah, 8.5 man of the match. Hendo, good balance and energy and control, 7.5. Gura says 7.5, as does Jadu. So I'm happy to give him the 7.5, because you guys seem to agree. So on to his central midfield partner, the two guys that really played in the deeper double pivot, which is Fabinho, who I scored him a 4 at the weekend. I thought he improved considerably in this game from the weekend's game. It'll be interesting to see what you guys say. He's probably not at the same level as a as a Henderson today. But he had a better game. He started to win the ball, started to stretch for a few. Let's see what you guys think. So we've got a 6 for Fabinho from Samuel, a 6 from William, a 5 from Sam, a 6 from Ben, a 6 from James, a 6.5 from Harry. Darth Sidious comes in with a 5.5. I'm going to give him the same score as I gave Trent, because I think in the second half he improved, and I will give him a 6. Okay, so on to Harvey Elliott, another player that's made our man of the match vote, and for me the best player on the pitch tonight, and not really someone that suffered from first half blues. I thought he was bright, thought he showed for the ball, played on a half turn, looked forward, was really impressive for me throughout the whole game. In the second half he really stepped up, and let's talk about the goal. What about the goal? Makes a great run, is played in by Mo Salah, and before you know it, he smashed the ball in the top right hand corner. This guy is 19 years old. Where is his ceiling? How good could he be? And more importantly, as Chris Paget said, where's the floor? And by that he means, what's the minimum standard this guy can get to? Where do we see that? Where is it? So I thought it was absolutely amazing tonight. And I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. And I'm just going to go with you guys and see what you say. James O'Neill goes with an 8 also, as does Harry and Bam. Vigor Lance says a 7.5. Mo Salah says a 9, William says an 8, Darth Sidious says an 8, loved his control, and I think that's key. That you can give this guy the ball anywhere and he'll bring it down and get it under control, and his next thing is to look up and look forward and bring other people into play. Stephen McGregory with some really nice comments. Elliott, very busy, mature performance, 7.5. Well, we kind of see that, don't we? More mature performances from him with every passing week. He's really developing into a lovely footballer, and I think he's going to be a real special player. So I give Harvey an 8, and you guys seem to agree. So on to the front three, and we'll start with Mohamed Salah, who again in the first half looked a little bit out of it, a few little nice touches. Really had a difficult opponent in Brassy tonight, who I thought played him really well. Was strong, was physical, went for every first ball. But we can't not talk about Mo's goal, can we? Ran through the centre, where we've been seeing a lot of him lately. The ball was played around the corner with the outside of the right foot by Henderson, and Mo knows all he's got to do is get a touch on that ball, and he does it delightfully. A little dink over the top of the goalkeeper, and the ball spins off the turf and into the back of the net for his customary European goal. I think we've seen better games from Salah. I think it was probably not at his peak tonight, but he had also had the assist for Harvey Elliott. So I think he had a great game, and let's see what you guys think. Huge says 7.5. Josh says, for me, Nunez or Gomez man of the match. Donut is an 8 for Salah. Mike is an 8. Rich Roberts is an 8. Victor Lance, 7.5. Iranian Pride, 7.5. I'm going to give him a 7. I'm going to give Mo Salah a 7 tonight. I think Josh agrees. Julian Farnham agrees. Julian Farnham Sykes comes in with a 7 too. Stephen McGregory, Salah did what he does with a smart finish, still missing a bit, 7. So I'm going to give Mo Salah a 7. So on to our Bobby Firmino, played through the centre again, dropped in really deep in the first half, trying to find the ball. It was a feature that Chris Pajak picked up in the commentary and the watch along, that he often came in and took the ball off Fabinho in our own half. That tells you we were disjointed. That tells you he wasn't able to play up high and bring the players into the game. So I'll be really interested to see what you guys say about Bobby. First scores in, Rosina Manan has given Bobby a 6. Josh Gavin has gone with an 8. Samuel Rees a 6. Bergen Kripe says he's an 8. He's a glue of the team. Julian Farnham says Bobby was an 8. He was class. William says a 7. Phil McCure says a 7. Kristen and Rich go 6 and 6.5 respectively. I'm going to give Bobby a 6.5. Okay. And on to Darwin Nunez. I'll be interested to see what your scores are with Darwin Nunez. Started more out to the left-hand side. For those of you that don't know, he's pretty prolific for Benfica from that position, scoring 11 goals in 9 games. So it's not something he hasn't done before. And we really wanted to utilise his pace in a game where we thought Ajax would come to play to try and get the 2-goal win that they needed to have a chance of progressing. End of the first half, really should have scored. It was easier to score than it was to hit the post, and it comes back off the post. Head doesn't go down, and this is what I like about this guy. Most or some centre forwards would do that, and then they'd get inside their own head and the game would go to pot. They wouldn't be so great, and then he comes up with an absolutely superb header early in the second half. Well marked by 2 men who stood on his boot as well, as he pointed to when he ran off celebrating. A brilliant header, well wide of the goalkeeper and off the foot of the post. Let's see what you guys think of Darwin. So Josh gives him a 7.5, Caden gives him a 7.5, James O'Neill went as low as a 6.5, William says a 7, Sam says a 7, TJ Jones, okay, that's a Gomez comment, we'll come back to that. Mo says a 7, Nunez 6.5 tops for Julian, Darwin a solid 7. Iranian Pride goes with 7.5. Victor Lance goes with 7 for Darwin because of his goal and because of the effort he put in on the left-hand side. I'm going to give him the same score as I gave Mohamed Salah, so he also gets a 7. So finally on to the substitutes. James Milner came on. James Milner came on and did what James Milner does. The game was well won by them. We were much in the ascendancy, and he came on and he managed out the game in his professional attitude, working hard with the players to make sure they did their jobs. A lot of energy, a really solid performance. It's really difficult on the substitutes because it didn't really impact the game, because when the changes were made, we'd scored the 3 goals. Ajax needed 5 to progress in the tournament. So that was just really an opportunity for Liverpool to manage the game. And let's see what you guys think. Millie gets a 7 from Ben Moole. Julian gives him a 6. Mo gave him a 5. Dickie O'Red gave him a 7. Millie did Millie things. Molotov goes with a 7 for Milner. Samuel Rees is a 7 for Milner. Phil McClure says 7.5. And B2B Football says Milner was a 7, some great tackles. I'm going to give him a 6.5. Okay, so I'm not far away from what you thought. I thought those games came on with the job just to manage out the game and see the clock run down without overexerting ourselves and making sure we've got energy in the tank for the weekend's game. So, Vajetic comes on also in case to cover Fabinho's position, who came off on about the hour mark, came on, didn't look out of place. We were talking about this in the watch along. Looks like you can really see a footballer in there, can't you? Really keen to get on the ball, good user of a football. He's got a bit of a physique about him as well. Thought he was really good. This is only his second or third run in the side. Again, another one that was brought in just to manage out the game, take the players out we're going to need for the weekend, and I'm going to score him very similarly to the score that I gave to Milner. I'm going to give him a 6.5 also. Again, I do believe it's difficult for the substitutes to come on and impact the game because they really didn't have to. We weren't chasing the game, we weren't looking for a goal. We were looking to manage the clock and make sure we made our way to the knockout stages, which we did. Fabio Carvalho came on, also as a substitute. Again, another player that came on, gave a good account of himself, shows up well for the ball, a few nice little link plays down the left-hand side. Again, another one that wasn't sent on with instructions to go and get us a goal because the tie was won when these guys came on. But I still like what he does. I still like his footwork. I like the way he shows for the ball. He's got a trick. He's brave. He's not worried about who he's playing against. These young kids play with very little respect for the people that they're playing against, and it's good to see. So I'm gonna go with a 6.5 for Carvalho as well. Once again, didn't need to come on to do a specific thing to get us back into the game. It was purely running down the clock with a professional performance. Okay, the last substitute of the night before we go to the man of the match was Curtis Jones, finding his way back into the team. Came on the left-hand side, again some nice touches. Really led the press as soon as he came on. There was a point in the commentary when I said to Chris, look at him, he was the furthest forward and he was pressurising their central defensive partnership. So I thought, you know, he did okay. And again, another player that came on, I know I keep saying the same thing, but you can't get away from it. Klopp just managed out the last half an hour of the game when he really didn't need to push it. So I'm going to go with 6.5 for Curtis Jones. Now, the one player that you don't like the rating I've given him, and I'm happy to review this, guys, is Joe Gomez. So let's have a look what you think on Joe Gomez for a couple of moments before we do this. I'll change the score for Joe on the back of this. And I'm going to change Joe Gomez's score to a 6.5. Because you guys told me 5.5 was a little bit unfair, and maybe it was. And Ben Moore agrees with me at a 6.5. James has gone with a 7. Phil McClaw's gone with a 7. Hayden's gone with a 7. Mo with a 6.5 and Julian with a 7. So I'm happy with a 6.5. And the winner of the man of the match vote?
Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott wins the man of the match vote. I can't disagree with that. I think that's absolutely spot on. So into the knockout stages we go. Well done, Reds. A difficult tie overcome in Holland tonight. Enjoyed the party in the streets afterwards. But before we go, we're going to swap back to Chris Pajak, who's doing the Christmas jumper giveaway draw. There's 5 winners. He's going to do it on the wheel on screen now. Thanks for joining me for the player ratings. See you soon.
Hello, everyone. I totally forgot to do it on the video I was supposed to do it on, so here I am on the player ratings video, because I did promise we'd do it tonight. I did promise we'd do it on the fan reaction show. I absolutely did not do it on the fan reaction show. I had a nightmare 5 minutes, to be honest with you. So, you had to retweet and quote tweet our pinned tweet. That's a lot of tweets, isn't it? And you were in with a chance, so let's get into it. We're giving 5 of these Christmas jumpers away. The Believer one, of course, with Jurgen Klopp on the front. A glorious history, inspired by one of the greatest Liverpool kits of all time, the 89 to 91 kit. I'm just getting told that my HDMI isn't working. Is it working now, Si? I'm going to take that out. And I'm going to put that back in. And let's see if it's working, because it's been a bit of a shit show, this. No? Still no? Go old school. N64, boys. Will remember this bad boy. Yes! The fucking blow works. It always has done. And it always fucking will done. Go ahead, the Reds. Spinning the wheel right now. Let's see who our first winner is going to be. Dun, dun, dun. Josh. No, it's not Josh. It's Saf Legend. Oh, no. That's not a Sir Alex Ferguson fan, is it? Is it? Is it? Oh, God damn it. If you are, I don't want to send you it, but I will. Because that's... Damn it. It's been number 2. Come on, we got to do better than this, boys. Looks like it could be Manny. Oh, it's not. It's me, mate. Oh, my God. It's Dan. Get in, Daffy. Dan, get in. You got to go and check his YouTube channel out. He does loads of film reviews and stuff. I'm sure if you just YouTube Death Mute Dan. Well in, Dan. He's right, lad. And let's see who else we've got on the go here then. Dan and a Mank. Wow. There's polar opposites, isn't it? Liverbird 75. Get in, Liverbird 75. There you go, winner number 3. Oh, this is exciting. Oh, the wheel's spinning. The wheel is spinning. It's spinning. It's slowing. It's slowing. It's slowing. It's slowing. It's slowing. It's Copton. It's Copton. Way, get in, Copton. You won yourself a jumper. We'll be in touch with you on Twitter. Danny, you DMing them? Yeah, I'll DM them. Right, we're going to DM everyone, get the sizes, get the delivery addresses, and get which design you want, by the way, as well. Last one. Here we go. Love Brandon 6! Get in, Love Brandon. There you go. Let's see who our 5 winners are then. That's SAF Legends. I really hope you're not a mank. I hope your initials are SAF and you're a legend. Death Mute and me mate. Liverbird 75, Copton and LUV Brandon 6. So there you go. What better way to end tonight? 3 goals, 3 points. Fucking knockout stage of the Champions League and 4 Liverpool fans winning knitted Christmas jumpers. Thank you very much for watching. We'll reach out to you. See you all soon. Ta-da.
Hey, what's happening, everyone? Hope you enjoyed that show. If you did, please do give the video a like and subscribe to the channel as well. If you want even more Liverpool content, even in video or podcast form, do check out Redmen Plus, our subscription service. Tons and tons of great Liverpool content, both in video and podcast forms. Check it out.